Well, I'm here at the Miniature Book Enschede for 2011 after a great day cross country, and Sue Benson alongside me. Sue, the Olympic course line for next year. And Sue, again, you designed Buccolo. How is your feeling after today's cross country?
Well, this is my 11th year, and every year something good happens, but this year everything good happened. You know, it's been a fantastic day's sport. We've had torrential rain, we've had sunshine, we've had 109 competitors, the biggest field I think I have ever had to design for.
And Sue, probably the most nationalities, I mean, possibly over a 3-day, because they've come in from all over the world, Japan, America, you name it.
I think someone told me 22 nations or something started, and that is absolutely unheard of, so it's been a really exciting build-up to the week.
And so that's one of the things here, because being in October, the weather, it can be beautifully sunny, but also it can be, you know, a total whitewash with rain or a greenwash for Grolsch. But anyway, this was, as you say, changeable, and designing a course in those sort of condition, or for that potential condition, is quite difficult.
I think I'm very lucky in that now I understand the ground, and I do understand that a normal amount of rain for October is okay. The ground will stand it. The integrity of the track is as good as it's ever been. We've worked harder and harder every year in improving the actual track itself, and I think the grass has finally improved enough to take that sort of a pounding. I mean, you know, I did have my concerns when I couldn't even see the riders for the rain at one stage, but I think the whole track, the whole day, everything about today is a designer's, I wouldn't say a dream, but it's what a designer comes away with, feeling very satisfied.
Yeah, and Sue, there were 6 clears inside the time on the cross country, and actually 2 of those were inside the time during absolute torrential rainfall. Elizabeth Power was the quickest of the day, so it did show the ground held up really well, and your course, even in really difficult conditions, was a seriously good test.
Yeah, I know. I think that's always very pleasing. You know, so many people say, "Oh, it wasn't fair. I went in the rain, so I didn't have a chance." And then we get two of the 6 go inside the time, as you say, in that torrential rain. And in fact, we had a series of about 8 or 9 clear rounds all in a row in the rain. So horses don't mind it, you know.
And Sue, fence-wise, there was fence 7, which caught a lot out of the arrowhead.
Yep, I'm afraid so. I mean, I did expect it. I did expect it to find quite a few riders and horses wanting, you know.
But you had a serious field, so you needed to test them, because I mean, it was an impressive assembly of riders, and there's no doubt about it.
Exactly, you know, and the trouble with a 3-star is 20 penalties is still a qualification for a higher level of competition. And I really felt that it was important that horses should be able to answer that question before they upgraded and went on to anything bigger. And yes, it was quite a tough line, but plenty proved they could run out once and still reapproach and jump it. Fine, they get their 20 penalties, they're still qualified, and they answered the question.
And Sue, to be fair, there were a couple of horses I saw, particularly Arctic Mouse, Oliver Townend, that had an early stop, but then actually finished very, very well, which says a lot about, again, the course and the setup here.
Yeah, I think my thinking always is a little bit, you want to ask your questions early on, and then gradually
sort the wheat from the chaff maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and then ease off and give those who have started to improve as they go on, give them a good feeling at the back end of the course. And if you look at the basic sort of fence analysis, that's exactly what's happened. There were plenty of penalties at 7, plenty of penalties at 9, and then others scattered all around.
9 was the first water, and it did cause quite a lot of bother, but the choice of routes again. But the fence interested me was 16, the Grolsch question, because that was the one that called out Raf Koolmans for the Netherlands Saturday. But barely anybody else had a problem. No, it was bizarre. I was there thinking this is almost cruel, but as a course design, you like that.
Yes, I mean, to be quite honest...
No, not the fact that Raf had a stop.
No, I don't like it. I don't like anyone having problems, but obviously the course has got to sort of sort the men from the boys. And for the leader to go out at that fence, which had no other problems at all day, just makes you realise what sort of competition it is. It's very much sort of concentrate all the way round, you know, and I think there was a bit of complacency amongst the competitors. I think they all thought it was a soft course, and I think some of them were caught out, and I think he was. very much. You know, he'd obviously been watching. No one else had had
Yep.
any problems. He missed his turn. 20 penalties.
And we always say that every fence in the cross country's got to be jumped. Otherwise, you get unstuck by what seems
and so
simple.
it proved. Yeah.
And so the other fence I just want to ask you quickly about was the main arena, because they thought it was quite loopy, but actually it rode really well. It was an interesting question, I thought.
Well, I'm glad. I think there's a sort of. I think the jury's still out on that one. I think some people thought it was great. Some people weren't quite so happy with it. But I think the overall idea was to keep the riders and horses in the arena for a little longer for the spectators.
Yeah, because the crowd here is amazing, and with all the sponsors around the arena, it's a great focus.
A lot of them never move from the main arena, so they see every horse, and I wanted them to see the horses for a little longer. Plus, I knew that with 110 entries, the time had to be hard to achieve.
And it was.
Well, it was, but I mean, if they'd just been able to gallop into the arena and out again, you'd have had another 10
Well, because,
inside the
to be honest,
time.
I was a cynic initially, but then I was watching it quite closely, and I thought actually there were very few untidy pictures.
That
must be the measure of actually the proper test.
Yeah, and they went everywhere. They turned right after the first one, they turned left, they went round the back of the second one, they went through the middle, they turned left after the second one, they turned right after the second one.
If there's course design, you can offer lots of options, and however they decide to ride it, that gives the riders and horses freedom. You must think, well, that must be a winning result.
I have to say, when you put in an alternative, if it's never used, it's quite painful, you know. It's a waste of money, a waste of time, and a waste of thought. But every single one of my alternatives was used today.
Great.
Yeah.
And Sue, last sort of assessment, just sum up the miniature booklet for 2011, because we all think it's been another absolute bonanza here.
Yeah, I think it has. I mean, I'm that tired. I think it must have been.
Yeah, our bags got a bit. So apologies for.
No, I think it's been a great day's sport, and I just want to emphasise how important it is for the Dutch people to enjoy the sport, and they're very sensitive about horse welfare. And I think the fact that we've had no accidents, no hold-ups.
There were falls, but actually no serious injuries at all.
Everyone's walked back to the stables in one piece, and that's
via Groschmarkie. I'm sorry, speaking. But and Sue, yeah, I mean, walking around, everybody was so happy. There's a really incredible feel here.
They're amazing. They don't mind how much mud there is. They don't mind how much rain there is, or they don't. They just have a wonderful time. Spectators are amazing, and the riders. All the riders always want to come to Buccolo, and it's not just because it's a nice track. It may or may not be. They just love Buccolo, the organisation,
exactly, the hospitality, the organisation.
Yeah, it's a pretty place to be, and I think it'll last.
And Sue, are you confident that Mark will win tomorrow? He's got a fence in hand with Campino. Is it money going there, or am I making assumptions?
I really want him to win. Let's put it that way. So I'll be willing him to win.
Great. Well, Sue, well done for another great week here at the military.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.